Hi, welcome to the Improved Garage. So today I've got a new product that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one. It's going to be an interesting test to figure out whether it's a keep or it's not, but everybody seems to really like it. So behind me in this white and red box that looks like a diver sign, this is a Rupes HLR75, which is their new 3-inch cordless polisher. And it came from Obsessed Garage, so it came in there's a brown over box with some paper around it. Arrived unscathed, at least I think so. There's tape at the bottom. All right, and then when you open it, that's what's inside. So, first impressions. I think that they could do better on the box. I realized I didn't buy the systainer, and this technically doesn't come with a case, but the box is kind of crappy, but whatever. So we've got the unit, we've got a charger, we've got a cord for the charger, we've got a battery, we've got another battery, and then there are 3 pieces of rubber in here. All right. And other than that, there's a book. That's really it. Okay. So let's take a look. First off, we have the charger. So the charger has a removable power cord, which is nice. It has rubber feet, has one rubber foot on the bottom. So there's where my other ones go. That makes sense. So let's add those rubber feet to it. Okay. So it looks like there are 2 lights on the front, a green and a red. Solid green means 100%, red means charging. Blinking red and blinking green are both bad, thermal and bad battery. So let's take this, let's plug it in. This will end up in my cabinet probably, but for now we can just use it here. All right. So we have 2 battery packs. So these are Rupes 18 volt, 2.5 amp hour lithium ion batteries. They do have a fuel gauge at the bottom. This one has 1 bar. This one has 1 bar as well. So let's take one of these and throw it on the charger, and we'll see how long it takes to charge up. It's currently 5:35 p.m. So let's take a look at the unit itself. We'll stick the other battery in. These batteries do have these covers on them, which I think are nice. It's a nice touch. Battery snaps in, comes out, seems secure. It's got a nice locking, latching mechanism. On the side, there's a wheel. So it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those would be our different speeds. There is no like chart on here that shows you what the numbers are. There probably is in the manual. There isn't one on the physical device. And then there's our paddle, which is going to actually run the unit. Now, from what I understand, they're going to be replacing these paddles or coming out with a new paddle that is a little bit harder to accidentally hit. Some early reviewers were saying that they would set it upside down, or they'd be putting polish on, they would bump this button and they would accidentally run the thing. If you turn it down to 0, that doesn't happen, but you have to remember to do that every time. You know, I think that I could probably remember to do that every time, but whatever. So the unit itself has like some cardboard dust and crap all over it, which is kind of annoying. It's a brand new unit that I just spent, I don't know, $300 on, I think it was, something like that. So I'm gonna grab a rag and just wipe it off. Okay. So this is only my second Rupes product. My first was an hybrid, a Nano with hybrid. And I really like that. It works very, very well. It's got a lot of power. It does a great job. It's a unique tool, but I think it's one that's really kind of necessary. It was much cleaner and in a nicer package, but I also ordered the systainer, so it came with the kit and the pads and all the other stuff. This was available as a systainer, but I still have a lot of the things from the Nano that I haven't really used yet, like the Rupes compounds I'm not really crazy about, so I don't know, maybe I'll try them again, but I just thought, why buy the kit if I'm only going to use half the stuff that's in it? So I bought the unit alone. So on the side, we've got a dial, 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's turn on 1. Actually, it moves pretty quick. That's cool. So it does come with a pad attached to it, but I'm assuming that's just to protect the Velcro for transport. It's got like just a Velcro side on both sides, so it's not really an actual pad. I obviously have the Rupes pads, and I have some other brands as well, so we can try a couple different things. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna let this guy charge up. We'll see how long it takes to fully charge. Like I said, they had 1 bar on the battery. Now this one's showing 2 and it's blinking 3. So I'll show you that here on the camera. You can see 2 are lit, 3rd is blinking to give you an idea of where it is with charging. So that's nice. I still think that Flex has the charger game on lock. It's really, really good. Flex, if you ever use a Flex charger, their charger actually has a digital display. And when you plug a battery into it, it shows you how much longer it has to charge before it's full. It actually counts down. And completely digital system, works really, really well, and it's accurate. So I do like that. But in general, like with my Milwaukee tools, they just have a couple lights. And as long as the battery life is long enough to outlast charging a battery, I really don't care about the battery charger very much. So that'll be the key here. If I'm using this with a battery, can I run the battery dead faster than the other battery that I already ran dead can charge? And can I just with 2 batteries continuously go and continuously work? And that's gonna be the thing that I'm gonna see. I'm also going to compare it to the Flex PXE80, which I really like the Flex, but I use it as a 3-inch exclusively. I'm not using it with other heads. So this is an exclusive 3-inch, and I think that'll be a really good test back and forth. This is ergonomically very different than anything I've ever used before. The grip in the middle is kind of weird. I'm thinking, am I gonna whack this battery on my paint and stuff like that? I don't know, I've never used it. So we're gonna try it out, we're gonna see what it's like. All right, so to test these out, we're going to work on the hood of the Mini. We're going to be doing, I'll just kind of split it down the middle. I'll make an imaginary line. I'm not gonna tape it off, but I'm gonna do this half with my PXE80, which I've used all the time. You've seen it in videos plenty. I'm gonna be using a Rupes yellow pad on both polishers just to make sure that it's consistent. I'll use the same pad. So I just cleaned this in my pad washer. It's a little damp. I'm going to use it. I'm going to clean it in the pad washer, then I'll use it again. And on this right half, I'll use the Rupes HLR75. What I'm really looking for here is the ability to correct the power and the ergonomics feel of it. Realistically, you can make anything correct. You know, it's just how much work is it? How big of a pain is it? How easy is it to work with the product? And for both tests, I'll be using Sonax Perfect Finish, and we'll just do dab, 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 about that much. We will spread it out with the claw tool, just like that. And we will dab it out on this half of the hood. Just like that. Fresh battery. Okay, so that part of the hood is complete. Clean out our pad. All right, so here's our HLR75. The batteries took about 40 minutes a piece to charge, and they arrived, they had like 1 bar on them. So we can see that it's fully charged. Haven't even used it yet. Haven't even tested it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spread it out. Okay, so we're going to do this part of the hood, dab it out. Well, that's really good. It's got a ton of power. Oh my God. So I started off on setting 1 and I kind of turned it up to setting 4. It goes all the way to 5. On the 3-inch Flex, I had it at setting 3. It goes up to setting 4. but the amount of torque and power, like this doesn't bog down when you push down on it. It just doesn't. And ergonomically, I didn't know if I'd like it because it's just so different than how every other polisher has looked. You know, like my Flex looks like this. It's a little bit shorter, but it looks like this. But with the Flex, if you're not using two hands, it's kind of awkward because it's like, it's not really well balanced. But this, with this singular grip, you can easily do everything with one hand and be fine. You can use two hands. I used two hands for a portion of it. I had my other hand resting here, but it's very easy to do one hand, where that it kind of feels awkward. Like it's like a forearm workout. That's pretty amazing. All right, so let's clean this up. Just kind of looking over it. I mean, the hood looks pretty consistent. I use the same pads, the same polish, the same amount of passes. I see better and worse spots in both of them, so I would say it's pretty even one way or another. For me though, where the Rupes really changes things is the comfort level. The amount of power that it has, like it is really, really good. And it feels like it's plugged into the wall. It feels like my 5-inch Milwaukee does. It's just really, really powerful. I was worried that this would happen, that the Rupes would be really, really good. See, originally when I ordered the Rupes, my thought was I would test it against the Flex and I would decide which one I was going to keep and I would sell the other one. Because I only really need one 3-inch polisher. Well, the problem is that Flex just came out with this accessory kit for the PXE80 that gives you like this wand with a little polish wheel that you can use for like inside door handles and some stuff that's really hard to get to even with the Nano. And I think that because of that, I might want to keep the Flex too. So then I end up with 4 polishers, which is fine. I don't mind having 4 polishers. What really sucks is having 5 batteries. So with Milwaukee, everything is M18 or M12. Some things are 2 M18 batteries side by side. But everything is M12 or M18, so there's 2 batteries that you need. And that runs a whole bunch of different tools, lights, whatever. When I got the 5-inch Milwaukee polisher, that also used the M18 battery. That was great. I got rid of my Flex. I was able to reduce my battery count. I still have the Flex 12-volt system from the PXE80, so that's a 3rd battery. And then Rupes has 2 different polishers that are both great, but they use 2 different batteries. Here is the Nano with hybrid, which I really like. If you don't have one of these, you should get one, get the long neck. This thing works really, really well. But this uses a 12-volt Rupes battery. And the new one that just came out, this HLR75, this uses an 18-volt battery. And this is a brand new battery for Rupes. They don't have any other tools that use it. Now, it stands to reason that in the future they'll probably release a 5-inch and it'll probably use this battery. But the reality is that for me, I have to have this 18-volt battery, I have to have a 12-volt battery, I have to have a 12-volt Flex battery, and 2 different Milwaukee batteries. And my hope is that in the future they don't release a new one that uses a completely different battery. But this Rupes is awesome. It works really well, it's super comfortable, it's very easy to hold. Let's try it out in the pad washer. The Flex has this knack for like getting the fluid all over the place. I don't know why. I don't have that problem with my 5-inch. So we push down. All right, it's about the same. I think it's just the 3-inch pad size makes it not fill everything and not be small enough that you can fit it in this thing, but whatever. Anyway, so that works really well, even with the pad washer. The one thing you have to get used to is kind of turning this to 0 every time you're not using it, because otherwise you'll end up spraying yourself with polish. I did it while I was just holding it there on camera. So you just want to flip it to 0, you're good to go. This paddle doesn't work, you can add stuff to it, do your thing, and then you can kind of turn this up. But what's nice about this is you can kind of work them both at the same time. So if you're holding this down with your palm, you kind of hit this with your thumb while you're holding it. And you could even probably do it one-handed if you needed to, like you could kind of with your finger, but it's awkward. I would just do it this way. I think that's the way it's designed. Your thumb goes here, you can adjust the speed, while your hand goes here to press this down. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description to the Rupes. I think it's an awesome unit. If you're just gonna buy one, buy the Rupes over the Flex. The Flex is a good product. I'm probably gonna keep mine, especially if that wand comes and works out well. But I think that this has more power, and especially if you're a professional or you're using it every day or you're relying on it as part of your job, I think this is the option to have ergonomically and usage-wise. So it would be really helpful if you do click the link and you do buy something, even if it's not this. If you buy something else from Assess Garage by following my links, it does give me a small kickback on what you get, and it doesn't cost you any more money, and it does help you support my channel. So thank you for that, and hopefully you'll have a great day.